Hello students. I want to share a story with you which I'll call Echoes of Resilience. The nightmare hit Lily like a cosmic white slap in the face. She jolted awake, heart pounding, fragments of the dream, crowds running, screams, hands reaching, still vivid in her mind. It wasn't her memory. It couldn't be. Yet it felt as real as anything she'd ever experienced. Third time this week, she whispered, glancing at the small clock on her workstation. The Nigerian hacker from Lagos tucked a strand of hair beneath her hoodie emblazoned with her cybersecurity symbol. The Invention School lab was empty at 3 a.m. except for Charles, the Jamaican music tech genius from Kingston, who was listening to something through his custom-engineered headphones, oblivious to her distress. Lily rubbed her temples. The showcase was in 2 days, and her cybersecurity project remained unfinished. Every time she tried to focus, the dreams returned, fragments of protests she never attended, fears she couldn't explain. Charles noticed her movement and removed his headphones. "The ancestral ghosts again?" he asked quietly, his laid-back Jamaican tone carrying genuine concern. Lily nodded. "My grandmother used to talk about our family's history during Nigeria's colonial resistance. But why am I feeling it now? It's interfering with everything, my coding, my thinking. Maybe that's exactly what we should be working on." Charles's eyes lit up with sudden inspiration. What if our ancestors aren't just haunting us, what if they're trying to guide us? The next morning, Lily explained her situation to Professor Singer and Miriam Muthoni, the Kenyan psychologist who served as the school's communication mentor. "What you're describing," Miriam said, her expertise in both psychology and Kenyan traditional knowledge evident in her analysis, "sounds like ancestral memory, traumatic experiences passed down through generations via epigenetic changes. So I'm literally carrying my ancestors' pain?" Lily asked, stunned. "Not just pain," Nonkulaliko interjected, having overheard as she entered the lab. The South African social engineer from Johannesburg carried her ever-present digital tablet filled with urban plans. "Think about it, your ancestors survived unimaginable hardships so you could be here." Charles nodded enthusiastically. "That's what I was thinking. What if we created something that doesn't just block these memories, but helps us understand and transform them?" Ramona, the Brazilian biotechnology expert from São Paulo in her doodle-covered lab coat, who had been quietly taking notes, looked up. "In my favela, the elders talk about ancestral wisdom as a source of strength. The problem isn't the memories, it's that we don't know how to interpret them." Over the next 36 hours, the lab transformed. Lily's expertise in Nigerian digital systems merged with Charles's Jamaican sound engineering, Nonkulaliko's understanding of South African community dynamics, and Ramona's Brazilian biotechnology knowledge. "What if we combine biometric readings with a massive sound?" Charles suggested, adjusting frequencies on his console, drawing from Kingston's rich musical traditions. "And incorporate traditional healing frequencies from our cultures," added Nonkulaliko. "My grandmother in Johannesburg used specific drum patterns from Zulu traditions for emotional healing." Lily's fingers flew across the keyboard. "I can program an AI to analyze brainwave patterns and match them with appropriate soundscapes, similar to how Nigerian griots use specific cadences to evoke emotional responses." Ramona connected small sensors to her tablet. "These can read physical stress responses, using techniques I adapted from Brazilian plant medicine research. We'll know immediately if a particular frequency is helping or hurting." As they worked, tension mounted. The system crashed twice. Calibrations failed. With 4 hours until the showcase, they still couldn't get the neural feedback loop to stabilize. "It's not working because we are approaching this from fear," Lily realized suddenly, drawing on her experience with Nigerian activism. "We are trying to fix something broken, rather than unlock something powerful." Charles understood immediately, his Jamaican perspective on musical liberation coming through. "Instead of suppressing the ancestral echoes, we amplify the resilient stories within them," Nonkulaliko finished, her South African experience with post-apartheid reconciliation providing crucial insight. When they unveiled the Ancestral Echo at the showcase, Professor Singer watched in amazement as Lily demonstrated how the headset detected stress patterns associated with inherited trauma and responded with culturally specific frequencies, narratives, and visualizations that transformed fear responses into creative inspiration. "It's not about erasing our history," Lily explained to the crowd, her Nigerian pride evident, but reclaiming it as a source of innovation. "The same stories that haunted me now fuel my creativity." As visitors tested the device, their biometric readings displayed on a large screen, fear responses transforming into states optimal for creative thinking and problem solving. "Memory itself becomes the terrain of resistance," Nankulaliko explained to an enthralled audience, her words echoing South Africa's long struggle for liberation. "And healing becomes our superpower." Later that evening, as the team celebrated, Miriam Muthoni pulled Lily aside. "You know what you've created, don't you? Not just a healing tool, but a revolution in how we view our past," she said, her Kenyan wisdom providing perfect closure. Lily smiled, feeling truly rested for the first time in weeks. "Our ancestors weren't just survivors," she said. "They were the original innovators. And now their strength lives through us."
Thanks again for being part of Tharaka Invention Academy. Remember, today's lesson isn't the end. It's just a spark. Your next activity is waiting. Please dive in. Always be an active learner and apply what you've learned. Experiment boldly and don't be afraid to make mistakes.